I don't have an uneasy feeling, Johnny. I'm ready for opening day. I'm ready for this team to get out there. As of right now, knock on wood, we have a fairly healthy ball club. I know the motto right now for everybody seems to be like, just stay healthy. Well, look at what this team did last year, Johnny, when they weren't healthy. And they maintained first place in this division. And if you want to say the division was lousy last year, fine. By all means, I'll accept that argument. But it takes a lot to win a division in Major League Baseball. It's not exactly just that cakewalk. And yes, the Sox had some trouble against teams outside of their division last year, but a lot of other teams did. And I even remember Steve writing an article for OnTap Sportsnet about how this would play into the Sox postseason and that they still had a chance, and even that was overhyped. So I think the uneasy feeling, Johnny, for a lot of people right now is just an overhyped lead into the season. I like the fact that this team seems to be down to business. I think that's going to bode well for them down the stretch. In fact, I'd like to see them play just a little bit tighter than they did last year instead of, all loose and fun. I want them to be focused on this because you've done the same thing 2 years in a row. These guys feel it. They know what the goal is here. They know that they've been to the playoffs. They've had that taste. This is the next step. This is the most serious year of White Sox baseball. I think the uneasy feeling might just be a little bit of nerves for some people. I'm ready to rock this season, man. I think they're gonna do very, very well.
I like that you brought up nerves there. And I think one thing that is, at least externally, is making people a little nervous right now is Jeff Passan coming out today and predicting the White Sox to beat the Dodgers in the World Series. So that is, granted, it's an external expectation. It is a baseball reporter. Granted, Jeff Passan is a insider, hashtag confirmed. But either way, that when you hear that kind of stuff, you think about those expectations and then you think, can we get there? And where I go is, why should I believe so much more? I don't get me wrong. I enjoy the bullpen acquisitions that they made, but those bullpen guys alone aren't putting you over the top, in my opinion. So what's different than what we trotted out there last year, really? And I know we can bring up, and we'll get to the starting rotation, Dylan Cease taking next step, and I fully believe that he definitely can. But even then, it's an overall team game, and we had a pretty damn solid rotation last year. Let's not underscore that at all. And it still played out to where those guys didn't show up when it mattered most. And every other team that advanced or won something, won a pennant, won a World Series, they had their top guys bring their top shit when it mattered most. And we didn't. So like right now, I'm still, like, oh yeah, we're going to get into the rotation here in a second, but just part of that, maybe part of my uneasiness, Tony, when we were talking about the rotation and during the Cease start yesterday, it was, I believe, in the rotation from April until August. But after then, I'm like fully expecting the meltdown that we had. And granted, it wasn't complete total meltdown. Some guys had some phantom IL stints, but I'm talking playoffs when it mattered. You can't get too much out of Giolito. You can't get too much out of Lynn. Dylan Cease, obviously not even making it out of the first inning. Granted, that was a big, atmosphere. I understand that, and I expect more from him this year. But at the same time, a quick hook still applies in the playoffs. You get in any sort of trouble, and it's going to be the same story.
Yeah, and I think where it comes down to for me, Johnny, is the fact that playoff baseball is just the highest stage in this game. You can say the comment about, April through August, and I believe you there because there's really not a lot of pressure when it comes to those ball games, Johnny. I know that, we live and die with this team every single game, every single pitch. And there's a lot of other folks out there that do. Now, the fact of the matter is we have seen this team go to the first round of the playoffs and not show up. Twice, exactly.
Well, they did. I will give him credit. In game one, that was Giolito. Give him of 2020. That was nuts and guts from Giolito. I know we usually use that for Lance Lynn, but I'll give him that one. But other than that, you're right. Go forward.
So the fact of the matter is you've seen these guys perform. We know they can do it. We know they can show up. But when the pressure is all on, that's where they need to answer the bell. I'll tell you what's a little different in my mind this year about this team. Hopefully, because the just stay healthy thing does apply. You're going to want to get a full healthy year out of Yasmani Grandal, and you're going to want a full healthy year out of Eloy Jimenez. And you damn well know that if this team has Luis Robert fully healthy for a full year, that's going to be a little different for this team heading into a playoff series, because you want them to be hitting their stride there, not going through nagging injuries, not, any of that, major injury on the comeback road. I mean, Yaz kind of rushed himself back for that second half. I mean, the timetable's there. So you've got to wonder, exactly just how banged up this team was heading into that first round of the playoffs. Now, I'm not making excuses. You still need to show up regardless if you're injured or not.
What did I say? They were available, maybe not fully healthy, but correct, mostly available.
So that to me is a little different for this team this year, Johnny. And I hope that we can get through the year. I know there's going to be some injuries. You saw the reaction from the Andrew Vaughn diving catch the other day from this fan base. I think there's a lot of nerves, man, because we just haven't proven it with this group yet.